King of 2 Miles is being brought to you by Burger Bullets, the highest levels of precision. Bartline Barrels, cutting edge of barrel technology. And by McMillan Fiberglass Stocks, molding the way America shoots.
Welcome back to the NRA Whittington Center outside Raton, New Mexico, and the King of 2 Miles competition presented by Bartline Barrels. Well, our next shooter will be Tessa Wyrick from Pruta, Colorado.
Tessa's shooting the big 50 BMG with an 802 grain bullet. Let's see how that bullet performs.
Looks like a miss on the first shot, just a little low.
Up 0.4, right 1.1.
So he told her to come up. She went up a little too high on that one. Another miss.
Up 0.2, right 0.8.
Yeah, Walt is a full-time instructor, so he does this stuff for a living.
That one worked. Nice hit right there.
Up 0.2, right 0.8.
Just a little low.
Edge, right 1.
That was good that he saw that impact, and he's giving her quick commands.
And another miss, but you know what? It only matters with points. Let's take a look at how she did. She did have one, and that's all she needs to be able to go on to the second target. Her spotter Walt's going to be shooting later, so Paul, is that going to help him later on having been a spotter?
It won't help him as much as what you'd think, because the temperature is going to change, the wind current's going to change. The distances that we're shooting, you have to have all this stuff perfect. So each shooter will have independent variables that they'll have to master.
Unfortunately, another miss.
Yeah, that was low, about 2 feet.
Last chance. This is the dreaded second target. More shooters have a problem getting past this.
Yeah, Walt saw that impact and he made an adjustment.
That was way high.
So she only hit one on target number 1. We talked to her and asked her, what do you think was the biggest problem in transition?
The elevation changes between targets. That's a big change for your rear bag, and so you're kind of high on the front in the bipod. But I am the monkey. My spotter is the shooter, so I'm doing what he tells me and trying to do it as best I can.
We'll take a pause from the competition and go to the Welcome Center, catch up with our curator, and talk about high-caliber collections. This one is old.
What we have here is what we call a Matchlock, and this is one of the very first firearm that was ever designed to be fired by one man. The early Chinese guns, it took 2 men, one to hold it, one to light it. But this gun was actually designed to be fired by one individual. And the way it worked was this rope, they'd light this rope and it would smolder, okay? And when they pulled the trigger, that smoldering rope would fall into the pan where the gunpowder was and hopefully ignite it. The obvious drawbacks to this is very sensitive to any kind of weather at all. Wind, rain especially, they just weren't very effective, but it was the beginning of what we call modern firearms. This particular gun was made in Japan in about 1520. And when you look at the craftsmanship that's in this, it's amazing what they could do even back in the early days.
Our next shooter is the defending champion. His name is Mitchell Fitzpatrick. He and Paul talked about Bartline Barrels.
We have Mitchell Fitzpatrick with Lethal Precision Arms and Derek Rogers with the U.S. Rifle Team to talk a little bit about Bartline Barrels and how they play a role in today's technology with barrels and ELR community. Mitch?
Yeah, so we use Bartline Barrels on pretty much all of the 375 builds that we're doing anymore. We choose Bartline because they're really the state of the art. They're probably the #1 in the industry for barrel making. A lot of that has to do with their quality control, but also their manufacturing techniques. They're all single point cut rifled, and they all of their rifling machines are CNC. I mean, the options they offer are second to none as far as, you know, custom twist rates or anything like that. And the performance is unreal. I mean, all of the rifles we build, half MOA rifles, no problem. So you put that all together, and it's really, in our opinion, the best barrel on the market. So that's why we use Bartlein.
Derek, can you tell us a little bit about your recent national record with the Bartlein barrel?
So when I changed over to Bartlein barrels, I started getting tighter groups, more X count, and I've managed to shoot 3 of the last 4 national records with Bartlein barrels. So I'm getting a really good performance, and every single one is very consistent without fouling and issues that I've inherently seen with other barrels.
More of King of 2 Miles presented by Bartlein Barrels after this.